I see this big splash of fuel come over the top of me and into the cockpit and hit the dash and down the windscreen and everything, and I go, uh-oh. And the race car was good. I mean, you know, we were just, again, it was early in the race and biding our time and seeing what the track conditions were and thinking about, you know, and talking to the team what kind of changes we were going to need to be making at the first stop and all of that, just doing our regular deal. And when we came into the first stop, the first pit stop, matter of fact, I think we'd just taken the lead. Now, probably some of the cars in front of us had pitted, but also it's because we'd worked our way forward already at that point. So the car was very good. I was very pleased with it. And we came in for the first stop, and I remember just pulling in and rolling to a stop and just thinking, routine stop, get this first one under our belt and go, you know, and no real rush. And I'm sitting there waiting, and all of a sudden I see this big splash of fuel come over the top of me and into the cockpit and hit the dash and down the windscreen and everything, and I go, uh-oh. Now I've got both hands on the wheel and it ignites. And so my first thought is get to my seatbelt. So it seemed like everything was slow motion. It took my hand forever to come away from the steering wheel down to get to the seatbelt. So I quit breathing, fortunately, but I didn't have a breath because I was struggling to get out and I didn't have a breath. But I quit breathing, and I kind of kept trying to keep my eyes closed so it wouldn't burn my eyes, and I got unbuckled and got the wheel loose. I don't remember now what all the scenario was, but it, you know, ended up working my way out. Got out of the car. I remember I jumped down the side, stood down at the side of the car, and like a dummy, if I'd have remembered what they taught me in grade school, lay down and roll. Except we had a lot of fuel on the ground around the car too. But it would have helped because that was standing upright was what was helping the flames go up the helmet. But anyway, so I'm trying to block them with my hands. I got gloves on, so I'm trying to block the flames from coming under my helmet with my hands. And I open my eyes and turn around, and I see somebody running toward me. So I closed my eyes again and waited, and I felt their hands at my helmet, trying to get the suit undone or the strap. So I kept my eyes closed, and I'm still not breathing. I still don't have a breath. And so I wait, and all of a sudden the hands go away. So I open my eyes, and they took off running. I'd caught them on fire. Nobody knew I was on fire because the methanol burns clear. And they thought they saw the car was on fire, but thought I'd gotten out of it. So now I'm thinking I'm on fire, guy. I look over and I see, one of the fire marshals in the pit lane spraying the car, putting the fire out, and I see the fire extinguisher going. So I take off. I beeline across the front of the car and around beside the car and head over for the fire extinguisher. And evidently, I kind of relit the fuel on the ground as I ran through it. But I remember I closed my eyes again and grabbed the nozzle and stuck it under my helmet, and it quit. So I opened my eyes, and he's running. I caught him on fire. So I'm still not breathing. And all of this was only 30-some seconds before I got a breath, but it seemed like 30 minutes. So anyway, I'm sitting there holding this fire extinguisher, and nothing's happening with it. And I start looking around, and I see my dad running around. And he comes running around the corner. He was the only one that really knew I was on fire because he knows me and he knows I don't move that fast for anything. So I had to be on fire. But so he reaches down and grabs the extinguisher and stands back away from me because he didn't have any fire gear on either. But he stood back away from me and got the thing spraying again and ended up putting me out. But that was a long 34 seconds with no breathing.
I mean, the crew guys' shirts were on fire. I mean,
it was
fire. Yeah.
The whole thing, it was a big deal, and it eventually helped create new rules down the road. It was one of them.
I suppose she's worried, obviously. The biggest risk here, of course, is inhalation. That's his father there, moving over up there. Inhalation, and here's Tom Stevens still trying to get out the pit, doing all of that drama. Now we're back into the Rick Mears pit. The biggest risk there is inhalation of flame or heat or toxics, where you can severely burn your lungs. Now, he was lucky he had his helmet on, Jim, and of course that could have helped him. Look at all that stuff.
A terrible moment there, terrible moment, and obviously he has at least been helped a great deal by that clothing.